Conversation with myself like this better work. That's why I get peace of myself almost every verse. I spent my whole life grinding, I ain't asked for help. I used to starve as a kid, I had to feed myself. Remember all the hard times we kept trying, and we rise and we fall. The times we had to walk, now we stay flying. Now we grind till we ball.
All my neighbors think I'm trapping, all the dope boys think I'm scamming. They come to Paris, rally, keep that heat up in Miami. Straight up out the trap, I'm weighing dope up on the floor. A chopper on the couch and I got junkies at the door. I got Louis on my waist and on my feet I got Dior. I be getting to the money, but I really need some more. 40 bands for the lawyer, I just need another case. Got a 40 on my waist, but I still keep a 38. Posted at the trap, I be dripping in designer. Christina from Colombia and Molly come from China. Line around the corner, guess my neighbors think I'm trapping. Gave them all a sample, now I got my neighbors capping. I be flipping this and flipping that. In the kitchen whipping crack. All my niggas in the back, in every corner got a strap. You ain't never seen a brick, but we know you full of shit. We know you a customer, you ain't never made it. All my neighbors think I'm trapping, all the dope boys think I'm scamming. They come to Paris, rally, keep that heat up in Miami. Straight up out the trap, I'm weighing dope up on the floor. A chopper on the couch and I got junkies at the door. I got Louis.
Welcome to another episode of Artist to Artist at the AB Club. It's your boy Westside, and I got a special guest with me today.
Yo, it's your boy Smiles Official, Soul Official, representing Dade County. Y'all know what it is.
I want to thank you again for pulling up, man. I really appreciate this.
Yes, sir.
So I like to always ask, the first question is, where did music start for you? Now, when I ask that, that's just basically asking, who would you give credit to as far as like putting music into your life?
Damn, man, that would start from like childhood. Like we grew up with music in the house, you know what I'm saying? We grew up at church, stuff like that. My dad was always playing all types of music, like every genre, like, you know what I'm saying? I got a playlist for every genre, so, you know, people think it's just hip hop. Nah, I could play you anything. So, yeah, man, it's like I want to say it started with dad, church, choir. Used to play the organ. My dad taught me how to play the organ. I don't remember how no more. So just being honest, you know, I can maybe play like one thing, but yeah, it was like after that, I want to say high school. I was DJing, started making beats. You know, I had a phase where Pharrell. I would say like me actually doing music like this, because you could say where it started from. Everybody grows up with music and loves music. But I would have to say like what made me like, you know, I feel like it's like, you know, like a bunch of strippers now want to rap because of Cardi B.
Oh, that's fact. She laid the blueprint down.
So for me, it was like I wanted to make beats because of Pharrell. Because he came out and the Neptunes came out like early 2000s with the crazy drums and the little popping sounds. And it was just so different. Everybody was on their beats. Like it was like for 2 or 3 years straight, like every song had a Neptunes beat. And bro, it just inspired me. And then, you know, started making beats. I downloaded the Neptunes kit. But, you know, I couldn't do it with that alone. So I had like a Timberland kit and a Lil Jon drums. So I was like trying to make my own sound without copying them, but using some of the sounds. And, you know, I'm all Fruity Loops trying to make these beats. And I'm like, man, my beats hot, but nobody want to rap on them. So, you know, they were different, but I knew they were hot. So I ended up just started rapping on them myself. And this is like off of like a desktop computer, bro, like a compact Presario, bro, like with the mic is on the top of the monitor. And I can't even make this shit up, man. I'm like literally like I got the remember the shit notes? You go to the start menu. I got the notes here. I got the sound recorder in this corner, and I'm playing the beat out the monitor speakers.
Why are you recording it?
Yeah, so I gotta rap like this and read down. and I swear that's where it started. I made a song called Strawberries, and the rest was history. Had the whole school going up. Then it got around all the rest of the schools, and since I was a DJ, I could play it too. Yeah. And yeah, that was it. After that, that was like the spark. And then, I was like really into football still. But when that ended and I came back home, it was like all music. It was like go from there. Like even when I was playing football in high school, I had my laptop and everybody used to come to my room to record and
Yeah.
shit. I had the garage band on the Mac laptop.
Oh, so you had the home stew. You was a stew for everybody when they wanted to come record.
Type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's real.
It wasn't like a real stew. We was recording on like put a set of headphones in. And open up the garage band, so it wasn't like no professional shit. But
that's where everybody started. Everybody started, whether it was their dog living room or I had a homeboy at Rico. He used to have it set up right in the corner of the living room. You had to go over there, put a little headset on, and then you're recording. Of course, you're getting the background sound, so you know what I'm saying.
We done did it all. We made mattress booths. We done, bro. Listen, it's a long story.
Yeah,
long
people
journey,
go in the closet, put the clothes in front of it so they can get.
We done did it all.
So I wanted to ask you, right? So was that something that you always knew you wanted to do as far as music? I know you said your dad played a part in like putting music in your life, but from a jump, like from a kid, did you know that's what you wanted to do? Was music?
I would say like more in high school. No, I always wanted to be a football player. It was the first dream. No, let me back that up. So I first wanted to be a pilot. I was in love with airplanes.
Oh, okay.
Then I wanted to be a football player with, like if I was going to school for something, being a lawyer, which is what I studied was law in school.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, pilot, football player, lawyer. But then like in high school, me and my little clique and my crew, we used to have this saying, if I don't make it playing ball, I'm going to make it rapping. If I don't make it rapping, I'm going to make it trapping. And it used to be like our little slogan to each other, you know what I'm saying? And kind of stuck to it, so.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
So you had a crew, like you had a group of people that was with you. That's the squad that you started off with.
Yeah, definitely. It started off like we was throwing parties and shit, and then like niggas started hating on us. So we started getting into some fights and might have got misconstrued as a gang at a moment's time, but nah, we wasn't gang banging, bro. We just it was some real niggas that could hold their own. So, like if you started it, we finished it. But, at the end of the day, it really started with us like throwing parties and shit, like and chilling, just being the boys chilling. And we would go, most of us played football. Like we used to use the logo and shit, go play football tournaments and shit like that. And, we threw this one big party in high school, which, all right, it was behind the single. It was called Strawberries, but ended up being like the biggest party ever in high school. Like people kept asking us to throw parties for the rest of bro, shit was crazy. Like, we had trucks coming from the farm. Like, people had to park out at the farm, and we had people picking people up in the back with trucks, making money just to get people to the house.
So y'all had transportation. Y'all had people getting.
Bro, I don't even know how that got started, but I seen it, like, somewhere down there, because that wasn't planned.
Yeah.
And thought it was, like, a big-ass party, bro, and everybody was like, yo. And then since then, like, the hate kind of came, too, because,
Yeah. Yeah. So how you deal with that? Like, how you deal with the hate? Like, when it comes down to
I don't pay it no mind, bro. Like, if you don't touch me, I'm straight, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you can say whatever the fuck you want. Like, I'm the type of person, like, I'm always unbothered. Like, like I don't give a fuck what a nigga say. Just don't touch. Like, you touch me, you cross the line type shit.
No, that's facts.
I've always been like that. Like, words don't really bother me. I don't really go back and forth. Like, every now and then, I want to feel petty, and I'll go back and forth with somebody. I'll be like, my first line will be, oh, I got time today. Like, my first line when I feel like being petty, and I'm not, because most of the time I'm doing too much to even focus on shit like that. But like when I'm ready, I'm like, oh, I got time today. I'm gonna go in on your ass. We could go back and forth all day. I'm gonna troll the shit out of you.
So one of the things I noticed, right, from talking to you, I see you real hands-on, right?
Yeah.
Like with a lot of stuff. You was telling me some of the stuff that you started off doing. Like, tell me more about that. Like when you was starting off, right? Of course, everybody don't got a team when they first start. Yeah. In your case, you had some people that was in place that was, making moves with you.
I gotta thank Trav for that. So like with me and Trav, we're business partners. That we're the owners of the label. Yeah, definitely shout out Trav. But he's been with me since he got my first song on the radio. Like, he made the beat to the first song that we had on radio, but he's been with me from the beginning. So he's always, he took a backseat to making beats to do more of a management role, just to, get us where we need to go. So it's like he was always big on team building.
Yeah.
And letting everybody around us know, like, yo, he got the buzz right now. If we don't get him through the door, we'll never get through the door. Everybody needs to focus on getting him through the door. And he was always on team building. And I got to learn like how to be a better leader through that, because I also had to be a leader as a person that all these people are trying to do this for and make this happen. So what I was saying, like, we were always self-efficient, you know. Me and Travis, there was something that needed to be done, we figured it out. If we couldn't find a person, we figured it out. We'll sit online for hours, watch YouTube tutorials, whatever we had to do. So, you know, we did graphic design, and we knew how to record. I know how to record myself. I've always known how to record myself, but I could record myself. We could mix to a certain extent. We could edit videos. You know, like, now I'm not saying that we're the best at all this stuff, but we did all this stuff. Club promotion. Club promotion was one of the most important ones, really, to me. Like, that like, taught me so much about the business and seeing.
How you got onto that the club promotion part? Like, how you learned that part?
Well, Trav was promoting clubs for a long time. I've always thrown parties, so I've always had access to people because I was always throwing parties for a long time. Trav was actually in the clubs doing club promotion. I used to DJ clubs before I left to college. Like, when I was in high school, like the last days, I used to do like it was like Mecca, I think, when it last closed, but I don't remember what it was called back then, Allure or something. I don't know. I don't remember what it was called, but it was in downtown Miami. Yeah. On the strip, it was like all ages, and you know. So I used to DJ there, but we've always been in that party scene. So, you know, like, Trav was like, you know, we need access to more people, and he kind of came up with the idea. Everybody on the team got to be promoters now. We got to start throwing parties. We're going to make money. We get our records broke, and we have access to meet new people every week. Yeah. So, you know, we really kind of like took over downtown. We took over the Grove when it was popping. Yeah, anything that was all ages, we was killing it.
Shout out to Trav, man. That's one of the things that's important. That right there, that move that you said, that's like, I feel like that's a all around player in a sense. Well, when you're talking about sports, it's that person that realizes what's missing in the group or in the team in order for us to succeed. So in that situation, he decided to step back from the producing and go to the managing, and that definitely, you know, played
and it was real, and it's a sacrifice. Because he had already had like placements on MTV Made, and I think he had a placement with like G Unit. So he could have really been selfish and been like, look, well, I could just go do my own shit. Yeah. And he was really like on some shit like, I'm getting these placements, but they not hits. We need to make our own hit. And he was kind of on the vibe like, if I don't get you where you going, my beat's never going to get heard. And he told me that one day. And then, you know, like, since that day, I knew, like, you know, I couldn't let the team down, couldn't let him down. Like, we got to go get it. You know, like, talking about anything, any problem that need to be solved. Yeah. Like, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go figure it out. You know, like, me and Trav been down the road, real, like, down the road. We done did it all.
Y'all fueled each other in that sense. Yeah, that's what I see. Yeah,
like, if he couldn't pick it up, I'll figure that part out. If you figure that out, I'll figure this out. And that's really like, so we used to be with a company called Liquid Shield while we were doing all of that. And it was like a older dude that ran it on Nick Fury. I know Trey gonna be mad I'm talking about this because he said he don't like me to name it, but like, I feel like the time has passed. I seen Nick the other day. He asked me about my family. You know, he heard about me, and
it's behind you.
It's behind me, and at the end of the day, I'm in a good place with it after I seen him. And it's like, although things didn't work out, I learned a lot from Nick Fury. So like, if he hears this, I want him to hear this. I did learn a lot from him. Yeah. Now, like, I feel like what went left or right is that he was older and maybe not as hungry as we were, because he's already had certain success with, you know, Tech Nine and some of those older artists, you know, that he was with. So he already seen his success and wasn't as hungry. And it's like me, I'm, you know, fresh off the porch, I'm trying to get foot in the door.
Yeah, hungry.
I need to get on the radio. I need to do this. I need to do that. And it's like, you know, I'm not seeing the moves get made. So that's kind of like where I feel like it didn't need to be no beef thing or nothing, but it's like, we got to take a different direction because, like, we're hungry right now. Yeah. So that's kind of where we start Streets Enterprise, right? And the name really comes from, I'm the streets and Trav is the enterprise. So Trav's like the real corporate dude and gonna get the paperwork done. And he gonna talk to business meetings. He can sell. He's gonna do all of that. And me, like, I got the hood, I got the people, and you know I got the streets, all the street side of shit. Like I take care of that. Like you know, we missing a little extra dollars. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to go get them. Like, and that's kind of like where we get Streets Enterprise from. You know,
Best
it's
of
like
both worlds.
best of both worlds
Y'all
meets
come
each
together.
other. Yeah.
No, that's real. I like that. That's a dope ass name, honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you because I was going over your last project, man, and I
Okay.
enjoyed it a lot. Like
Yeah.
I seen some heavy hitters on there too, man. Please shed some light on for me, like how that project came together. Like what was the process of putting that project together?
Bro, so usually I'm like recording all year long, you know, so it's like end up with like maybe 50 to 100 records depending on how hard I'm going. You know, sometimes life is lifing, you're a little slower. Sometimes it's all about the music. You just, you know, city to city, recording in every city. So that last project I was recording all year long, and then you know like usually what I'll do is like we'll take the top songs, cut them down to like 10, 11, maybe 12, something like that. We'll cut them down to like a listenable project, nothing that's gonna be too long and bore people's ears off, and then something that's gonna be short and sweet and nice, you know, a good body of work.
Yeah.
You know, and I me personally, I like to have like a mixture. Like I hate to listen to like, I'm not trying to like, you know, say anything about a new generation or something, but a lot of these albums I listen to don't feel like an album no more that we used to listen to, you know. Like to me, I feel like sometimes I can't even tell. Like if I start typing something on Instagram or something, I'll still think I'm listening to the same song and I'm on number 3. So it's like we grew up in a time that you had intros and
Interludes, outros,
and songs were
skits.
different. There was a, you know, you might have started fast and then you had a girl song and then you had like a serious life song and then you might have turned it back up and then ended back slow, and like, you know, like it took you through a journey and you knew what, like, you know, like you kind of felt like you were closer to the artist at the end of the project. So that's kind of like, you know, I try to mix the new style in and then still give a little bit of the old school and, you know, sound like that.
No, that's important, honestly. So like as far as like with the features, right?
Yeah.
Was it like as you was traveling, you running into people?
So yeah, some of them were different. Like some of them were like emails saying, get the verse back. I've been meeting people for a long time out here. Like the pictures would tell you, you scroll down my Instagram. So
yeah,
I got relationships with people, stuff like that. So some of them were like, oh, over the internet. And then some of them were like in person. Some of them were, you know, a grind, like chilling around somebody for a minute and going in and keep chilling with this person till they finally drop that verse, you know. But, you know, yeah, it's definitely a process. And if you're hungry and you work, you know, you're going to get what you want.
So let me ask you, what's your process? Do you write or do you freestyle?
I do both.
You do both.
All right. So if I got like a nice, like soulful hip hop sample beat, I'm not going to spit no bullshit on it.
Yeah.
I got to go right. I got to think about what I'm talking about. It got to like have substance. And I mean, even when I freestyle, I gotta have some substance, because it's not like, I'm gonna be honest, it's not like just a straight freestyle. Like, it's not raw like that. Like, off
of the straight,
few people in the world that are that great, right? But it's like, you know, punching. I'll come up with like quick 4 bars. All right, keep running the beat. All right, 4 more bars. And I'll punch in, you know, and shit. And really, like, I got that from Lil Wayne. Like, when I was coming up in the music game, I was around T-Pain and them a lot. I would be at Hit Factory. I've sat in sessions with Lil Wayne. And I seen that's how he did it. And it gives it a little more, like, personality. I've literally seen this dude, like, rap the 4 bars and come out, like, smoking his joint. The movie's playing. And, I got it.
Go back in.
And rapped about that shit we just seen on the movie and made a fucking crazy bar out of it. You know, and I was like, damn, that's the way the pros do it. So, you know, like, I do a little bit of both, though. Like, you know, I'm not going to say, like, I'm always free. But, like the song you played or stuff like that, I freestyle that shit because it's, like, little trap beats. That shit's, like, second nature. You know, like, that's really, like, my bread and butter. That shit comes to me easy.
So would you say Wayne was, like, one of them ones, like, that when you was in the studio with, like, you would say you learned a lot in that process of being around him?
Yes, I did. Like, definitely did. And Payne put me around him, and for good reason. So,
Shout out to Payne. Legend in the game. So, on top of that, right, I see that you travel a lot. You say you traveling, you doing music in different places and that such. So, like, tell me about, like, touring. Like, what's the process? Like, what's that experience be or for you as far as touring?
Touring's fun.
It's fun.
I mean, I think like, all right. So music, this music game is complicated. So it's like, there's so many hard parts, but like the fun is recording in the studio and performing.
Yeah.
That's like the finish line. That's like, all right, this is what I do. All this other shit that I don't want to do for these moments. And the touring is just different because it's like, it's not like performing at a strip club or a local club here or South Beach or nothing. It's like different. It's a full stadium and it's people that are there for music, so they're gonna interact with you and give you their energy, and they're gonna pull their phones out and record you and scream and sing along. Like, so the touring thing is great. Like the touring thing is like is the best, really. Like I love concerts. Like really, that's like where I want to be. You know, in the studio or on the stage doing a concert.
So let me ask you, was you ever nervous when it came to like performing in front of big crowds? Because some people, you know, the butterflies get to rolling.
I mean, nah, not really. I never really got nervous. Like, no, that I just go out and do my thing. Like, but I mean, like I say, I've been doing that for a long time. Like I said, church choir or playing in a football field. You got all these thousands of fans. They're watching you. The band's rocking. You got the cheerleaders with your number on the cheek. So you know, I guess I'm used to the.
So it translate from the field to the stage. Oh, that's real. That's real. So I like to ask this question because with being an artist, of course, it's a lot of glitz and glamour. And with social media, you know, we see a lot of the good. But I like to dip into some of the parts where people don't really get to see that much. So one of my questions I like to ask is, what's some of the dark times you would say in your process of being an artist that you experienced?
I think like no artist is where I mean, it's like a never ending chase. So you like, as successful as people may see me and people that like, oh, I want to be like him. It's like, I'm still not where I want to be. Like, it's like you're always chasing and you get to that level of that thing you wanted so bad. And it's like, damn, that's not it. I need more. You know, I want to do this now. So it's like, bro, it's funny because things like that me and Trav would have wished for and dreamed of back then, it's like we've accomplished so many of it. And then it's like sometimes I'm like, I got to check myself because I'm like, bro, you're being ungrateful. Like, you know, like we've done a lot, you know? Yeah. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with being hungry and chasing your dreams and keep trying to get further and further, you know?
No, that's real. Sometimes you can lose sight. A lot of times, like even with everything I'm doing with the podcasting and my music, it gets times where you might feel like you might be stagnant. You might be like, damn, like I don't really feel like I'm making movement. But in actuality, if you stop and actually settle down, look at your surroundings and realize where you just came from, look back like, okay, I was there.
But the biggest thing I need to do when I need that little pep in my step or that little, you know, to give me that kick in, I got to go look at from when I started and how many people started when I started and quit. And I'm like one of the last ones standing. Like,
that's one of the big ones right there. When you look at that class of how many people you remember started doing music when you started.
So many of them started with me, and I just, you know, like whether it was for a good reason or not, or whether they just gave up or life hit them, I don't know. But so many stopped. I'm still here. I'm still rocking and doing shows and dropping projects, and I ain't quitting no time soon.
Nah, that's real. Honestly, I would say that with music nowadays, because of social media, you see a lot of glitz and the glamour, and I think that's why a lot of people jump into music. But they don't see that warning sign when it comes to this journey. Yeah. There's a lot of bumps in the road, right? A lot of ditches you're going to fall in, whether it's getting finessed by, you know, a DJ, promoter, whatever it may be, or, you know, signing a deal that you may think that is going to pay out lucrative for you, but, you know, you might end up stop doing music because you can't get your music out. Yeah. So it's a lot of things that come along with it, but, you know, the ones that make it is the one that are resilient, that can overcome obstacles when they come along. I think that's what it is.
The ones that could persevere.
Persevere. I like that one.
For sure.
So if there was any advice that you had to give like an up-and-coming artist right now that's on that path, that just started, they probably just started, what's something that you would give them to like look out for or help them beat around the curve?
This funny because I was just talking to somebody that says I'm not talking to no more artists, not giving no more advice. They don't listen.
Yeah.
I was like literally just having this conversation. This boy was like, "Oh, I'm introduced my boy." I don't want to talk to him. They don't listen. I sit there and talk to somebody for 2 hours and they'll still go do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So but man, I could give a lot of advice. But
what's the biggest one? The one that seemed to always go over their head.
I mean, let me just say this: study the game. Like a lot of them don't know what they're doing. They don't study the game. They don't know. You know, they're relying on somebody else to do everything for them, and that's how you get fucked. You want to get fucked? Don't know how to do nothing for yourself. That's how you get fucked. When you know how to do something for yourself, you could either do it for yourself, and then even if somebody's helping you do it, you can go back behind that and double check. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's facts.
You're not a duck. So if you see, all right, well, something ain't right, let me go behind this and see, oh, that's where the problem at. But if you don't know how to do that, you're going to be 20 years later, oh, he robbed me. You let him.
Yeah, that's real. Nah, I like that. That one, that's a big one. I see that a lot of times. I will say that I do see with some of the new artists, they are on the do-it-yourself type of thing. I get a couple of artists that come in here and they say, yo, I'm about to get a camera. And I'm like, oh, what you getting a camera for? Oh, well, I'm about to start shooting this and doing that. And it's like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah. Some people, they just get comfortable with just rapping, which is cool, but sometimes you do got to wear another hat, especially when you're starting out by yourself. So I know you got a project in the works. Tell me about it, man.
Yeah, I got a new project coming out called Triple Beam Dreams. August 11th, like every year. So I know I don't know if you're familiar with how I do it, but every August 11th is the birthday of hip hop.
Okay.
It's my birthday as well. So me and hip hop share a birthday. So I always give my fans a project every August 11th for my birthday. And it's been going on for I don't even know. I don't even know how many years. I've been doing it for a long time now. So like I want to say since 2016. Consistently. Every August 11th, boom, give them a project. So yeah, man, the project's dope though. It's got some dope producers, DJ Swift, I got Buddha Bless the beat, I got Hit 'em with the jabs. As far as features, I know the last one had a lot of features. I didn't want to do as many this time. I wanted people to hear me more.
Okay.
So like that was like one of my things with this one. I didn't want to flood it with features. But I got Hothead Youngin. He's out of Sarasota. I got Jim Jones. I got Jay Burner from the city. Yeah, So and it's a few more, but I'll let you know in the final project. We still got a couple listening sessions to do and pick and choose stuff with the DJ. So I don't want to say like everything and then something don't go on there or something. But I know those for sure. Like those are for sure.
Okay, shout out to that. You getting blessed with another project. That's what's up. Cause that last one was fire, man. That mental health one.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know everybody thought that was gonna go somewhere else. I was like, no, I'm sick of niggas complaining.
Yeah, it was fire.
Everybody got excuses. Damn.
So for the people that don't know where to find you, where can they find you at?
Y'all can find me at Smiles Official everywhere. You could Google me, search me, Smiles Official. Everything spelled normal, with an S and not a Z. So if you know how to spell, it's good.
That's facts. I want to thank you again for coming on. Also follow A2A.podcast on all platforms from Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok. Also hit that notification bell on Smiles. Anytime he drop in, you'll get a notification link right to your phone. You hit that button, boom, you're right there.
Yes, sir.